Coventry fan Jake Russell says, I didn't realise we'd signed Ashley Cole. Oh my goodness, JDS was absolutely unplayable against Birmingham. Play up Sky Blues. Hope you're doing well. Put Birmingham to the sword. They might have smashed up the toilets, but 3 points are on the board for Coventry. We're talking today, of course, the brilliance of Dasilva and why we think the fixture computer for these midweek fixtures has been a little bit unfair to Coventry. Plus, the EFL have announced should 8th place be considered for playoffs. We'll get the panel's view on that in a second. And join us at the end because we're opening up the Coventry City A to Z. Who for you of the history of Coventry, beginning with the letter A, gets into this particular book? We have asked AI and they've come up with this fella. Can you think of anyone more suitable? Hope you're doing well. We've got Ben, Scott, Tom and Jay back with us after their absence last week, leaving Scott all alone. Scott, you've recovered. It wasn't too harsh on you, were we, last week?
No, I just about recovered about half hour ago, Mark, so I'm ready to go again now.
All right, okay. Right, let's get into it then. Yes, you're singing, you paid 45 quid and you're 3-0. You're 3-0 down. Ben, they want to say that they've pulled it back to 3-3 by, there's a second time in a row they've done that to the toilets. So do we need to do something and charge them 50 quid next time?
Well, I don't agree with the ticket prices, to be honest, but the bill goes straight to their club, doesn't it, for that damage? So it's more for them. It's just idiotic behaviour, isn't it? I mean, I've been to plenty of football matches and I had that feeling when you walk out and you've lost. It's not nice, but I mean, to smash toilets up, it's just drunken behaviour, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. Let's focus on the football then, shall we? Ben, who's Sean for you?
I mean, I've got a list, but I think the Carl Rushworth coming out looking composed, collecting crosses and corners. He's oozing confidence at the moment. I mean, Josh Eccles coming back from injury to step in and put that level of performance in was really, really good. He wasn't just a battling Josh Eccles performance. His qualities, I remember he turned on the ball at one point in midfield and got someone a yellow card. He looked really good. And then you've got Matt Grimes, who just... I worry if he gets injured. I really do worry. I mean, who we got to replace him? I mean, Jamie Allen's the only person I could think could do a similar job, but Victor Torp, unreal. I think people are starting to see why I've always gone on about Victor Torp now and Milan Van Evik, and obviously we'll speak about Jay Dasilva later, but Milan's just a flying machine, isn't he?
Yeah, absolutely. Let's come on to the main headline then. Cheers, Ben. Scott, last time we were on here, I think we were giving a little bit of criticism to Mr. Dasilva from some tweets from the Leicester game. He might have been watching because, oh my God, as this one here says, gritty and great that. Frank's teaching us how to turn up every single week. Lots of superb performances. Great to see Simsy like that. But Jay, an absolute revelation. I think there's one here that compares him to, fantastic over the park. Special mentions to Milan and Jay, like Cafu and Roberto Carlos today. Yeah, is he that good?
I wouldn't put him in the same bracket as Roberto Carlos, if I'm honest, or Cafu, but I think we had the conversation last week about how he was playing, and I think he got a bit of stick after the Leicester game, and like I said about marking Fatawu or Fatawu, everybody would struggle, but again, like I said last week, I thought he was good second half last season. He's been good all of this season, and he had a struggle against Fatawu. Yesterday even, I thought he was brilliant. I don't think he put a foot wrong at all in any tackle, in any positioning, anything that he did. He was just superb. He's had one bad game or 50, 60 minutes in a tough match in the last, 20 or 30 games. And I thought he was superb, so I've got no criticism of the lad at all.
Yeah. Stay tuned at the end because these guys are going to dissect that game in a lot more detail than we are doing here in West Sky Blues Extra. Tom, when the teams were announced, there was a lot of people on Twitter saying we haven't got the strength and depth. This team's going to get beaten easily. And then of course, obviously that didn't come to pass. Where does that come from? Because Coventry having the best season ever, the best start to a season ever, and we've still got quite a bit of the fan base that, are quite concerned that you haven't got the numbers in depth.
Yeah, I was one of them. And when I saw the lineup and I saw there was no I wasn't expecting EMC even if he was back. I thought he'd be on the bench anyway. But Rodoni, I read rumours the night before Patton being injured, and I thought, surely not. And then when I saw he was injured, I was like, we're going to be in a bit of trouble because, EMC and Radoni, both very creative players. And I feel like we kind of missed that creativity. Well, I thought we were going to miss that creativity, but we had no problems at all. But I do agree, like with depth issues, I think we have got a bit of a depth issue. But for me, keep the squad as fit as you can going into January, then reinforce heavy, spend the money. We've spent all right so far, and obviously the stadium, reinforce, get some players in second half of the season, just really, really push for it. But I'm super confident after that. I haven't felt this confident at the start of the season for so long. So, yeah, reinforcing Jan, and I think we're really going to push for it. But it's just about keeping everyone fit. Radoni's going to be out for a few weeks, apparently, to Lampard, which is a shame. But, I mean, it says in my headline, no Radoni, no worries. I mean, it felt yesterday we had no problems without him. Obviously, we want him in the team. He's our best player, no doubt. But we didn't struggle. It was such a good performance. But I was a little worried at the start, but I think they proved a lot of people wrong, including me. So I hold my hands up on that one.
Yeah. Jay, the bookies have slashed the odds on Coventry winning the league, let alone just being promoted. Are you becoming more aligned to the fact that this is going to be your year, given what you've watched so far?
I'm not coming aligned to it. I've said it for a number of weeks now. I think me and Ben both mentioned this in tweets not so long ago. The league's there for the taking. There's no one sort of really grabbing by the scruff of the neck apart from Middlesbrough. But I'm not sure if Middlesbrough are playing fantastic football at the moment or not. But haven't really seen them at all this season. But they're obviously getting results, getting points on the board, which is what you sort of really need at this stage of the season. So I honestly think I was looking at, obviously you guys mentioned about the squad depth. I think we've got a good 16 players in our team. The goalkeeper's solid, the back four, there's real strength and depth there. Again, I'm not a massive fan of it, but you can put Milan and Brow as wingers if need be. So we've got a little bit of depth there. I thought when the subs came on yesterday, they really sort of kept the standard of play going, and there wasn't a sort of dip at all. They did their job, and they made sure that we sort of kept those levels up, which I was really, really happy about, and sort of quite relieved. Again, Ellis Sims, I do worry about Ellis Sims at times, but I thought he really had a sort of bit between his teeth yesterday, so that sort of made me a bit sort of pleased there. The only thing is, I think we're sort of on the edge of we can't really afford any more sort of injuries from now until the international break, which will probably come at a good time, because then we've got another week of this season to go. Then 2 weeks, I think we've got a break, so it should hopefully we'll get Radoni sort of there or thereabouts, and Mason Clark hopefully back next week as well. So I think overall I'm very, very pleased with the way things are going, and I really do think the league's there for the taking as well. And also on point of Jay Dasilva, for the last couple of days I've been getting excited. People are thinking that my tweets are fantastic and my podcasts that I do are fantastic, but unfortunately they've been tweeting about Jay Dasilva rather than me. In that case, but he has been amazing for the last lot of games. Been really, really good. Last game was a bit ish, but I think we've got the quality. Again, we've got a good 16 players, tight knit team, and as long as we don't get too many injuries, I think we're sort of good. And as Tom mentioned, then you sort of get maybe 2-3 players in January. I think 2 would be enough, but obviously difficult time to buy as well. And then we sort of push on from there and win the league at canter.
Cheers, Jay. Ben, you've been supporting them since you were a little lad. Is this the best football that you've seen them play in many years?
Yeah, I would say so. Obviously, when they was at Highfield Road, I was very young, so it was more about the atmosphere and stuff like that. We had some fantastic players, but that we have a real identity now. A real identity. You can see the professionalism in the squad. Every player's doing the part, and I can sort of see why Lampard sort of pushed Bassett out a little bit, because he wants everyone working with the same attitude and the same intensity. And if you're not in the team, then you do your part, you do everything right, and you come on and you make that do your job when you come on, and no whinging and no moaning. I mean, look at Wolfenden, he's coming, he's not had a kick yet, but everyone's playing the part. And it's like Jay said, Sims came on, he looks like he's gained 2 yards of pace to me. So yeah, I don't know what you think, Scott.
Yeah, I thought everybody played their part at the weekend as well. I thought they all chipped in. We have got 16 players, decent squad. Injuries, I think you mentioned my biggest worry is Grimes. I think anybody else, we have a replacement. who can do, I guess, just as good a job. I don't think we've got anybody that can do what Grimesy does, even 50%, 75% as well, to be honest. He's my biggest worry. But like you said, every single one of them was battling at the weekend. I mean, Hadji, right in front of the bench, was having a right old tussle with Clara a few times. And, you know, people were just applauding the effort and the strength and the commitment of the players at the weekend. And, you know, talking about how well we played football-wise, I can't remember many times in the last 2 or 3 seasons I've seen players playing one-touch football and just, you know, doing the old triangles and just romping past people. It's great to watch. It's superb to watch. It honestly is.
Let's move this discussion on a little bit then, because we've got midweek fixtures starting with Millwall, of course, this Wednesday, which we're recording this before then. Tom, we've looked at the fixture computers and what they've given Coventry, and some people are pointing out, we've looked at the distances that each club have to go to, that there's one other club that's been given a Pompey and a Middlesbrough, or a Southampton and Middlesbrough in this case, and Coventry's the other one. You've got 4 clubs that you play across the 8, well, there's 9 games, but you play Pompey home and away, you play Sheffield United home and away, you'll play Middlesbrough home and away, and play Millwall home and away with a Preston one thrown in as well. We know that you have to play everybody twice, but does more need to be looked at in terms of fairness in sending, you know, you to the top of the country and to the bottom of the country, both on midweek away trips?
Yeah, it's a lot of midweek games. I didn't actually think it was that many. So for me, it kind of depends who we're playing on the weekend as well. Like, let's say we're going up to Middlesbrough on a Tuesday night, and then we've got it's kind of like an Ipswich we're playing on the weekend away. It's a lot of travel for the lads, and it can cause issues in the squad. For me, it all kind of depends who we have on the weekend. It's not something new. It's been very common the last few seasons. I think it's fair. We've got a few home, few away. We have to play every team twice. You are right. Could they? They're not going to extend the season anymore, are they? Or start it any earlier? So I guess it's fair, but it is a bit annoying when you have to travel to Middlesbrough on a Tuesday night, and then you've got to travel, say Pompey on a Tuesday night as well. But I think they're all pretty far away from each other, so it's sort of fair. But I can see why there'd be issues within it as well.
Okay. All right. Another announcement, Jay, this week has been this one from the EFL, that they've decided to talk or start talks about expanding the playoffs to include the teams that finish 7th and 8th in the playoff rigmarole. Very similar to what happens, of course, in the national league. Just first of all, is this good for Coventry, and is this good for football?
Take Coventry out of it. I personally don't think it's good for football in a way. I don't really see why they're starting these conversations off, because no one's sort of really asking for it. It just seems like our jobs where sort of middlemen are just making up new rules and things just to keep themselves sort of busy. Effectively, I've never heard anyone suggest we should go to 8 teams. Again, even obviously the 3 promoted teams that have gone up this season are doing very well, but everyone knows the gulf in class between Premier League and Championship. Imagine if the 8th best team in the Championship goes up, they're going to get absolutely destroyed each week unless they spend like £200-300 million and sort of go all guns blazing, because their squad that finished 8th in the league are nowhere near good enough to compete. So you need a whole new squad to go in and sort of compete there. Again, I think even the playoffs in general is a bit harsh once you finish 3rd. Obviously, Sunderland finished 3rd and went up last season, which is sort of a little bit of justice, I feel. But again, obviously, Coventry side is good. It's the 6th, but I don't see why having that conversation. But there's a lot of rules and stuff happening at the moment that no one's really asking for. Arsene Wenger wants a World Cup every 2 years and stuff like that. It's obviously fantastic, but for spectators. But you also have to sort of think about sort of player welfare and stuff a little bit as well. But again, that's by the point of the 8th place team. But I just don't think it would work out well because someone could scrape in and sort of chance their luck a little bit, or something that sort of warrants it over the season and misses out because they've had one bad day in the office, effectively.
Yeah, I mean, Ben, the idea is that there's so many dead rubber games at the end of the season that the point is that you could still be in 11th and 12th and still have a chance of going into the playoffs. Do you see that point of view, or is this just nonsense?
No, I think you have to earn it, and if you're in a dead rubber game at the end of the season, then that's your fault as a club, and that's where you're at. And why don't they try it with the Premier League and say that 8th can compete for a Champions League spot? That'd be better, wouldn't it? I mean, the playoffs, everyone loves the playoffs.
Yeah.
But unfortunately, fellas, I think that we need to get used to it, because I think the majority of the clubs will vote for this, to be honest. And it's a big money spinner. So I think it's going to be a goal with this. I really do.
Yeah.
One point about it, they said a lot of dead rubber games. I think the championship title went to the last game, didn't it? The penultimate game.
Yeah.
10 people could have got relegated at the end of last season.
Yeah.
Relegation last day, playoffs were led to the last day. So there's probably about a handful of teams that were on the last day not playing for anything, but half the league was playing for something. So it's very, I thought it was like really exciting. And that's why we love the championship.
If it's not broke, don't fix it.
I was just going to say that if it's not broken, don't fix it. 100%.
Yeah, here to that. Right, before these lot then dissect that Birmingham game a little bit more. By the way, Scott, just a word on Birmingham. Were they that bad, or were you that good? Because I'm still can't decide whether they're going to finish top half or bottom half.
I didn't think they were very good. I expected a lot more from them. I actually thought when you're asking about Dasilva, before a ball was kicked, I thought Demarai Gray might give him a tough time, because I thought he was quite good against Leicester, but I don't think any of them showed up, to be brutally honest. I was talking to my brother-in-law after the game, and the word I said was, that was very comfortable. We weren't brilliant. We played some good football, but I don't think we had to be very good. I just thought they didn't really turn up, and I don't know what happened, but it was a stroll in the park, if I'm brutally honest.
So our Sheffield United fans pointed out it's standard Jack Robinson actions. Right, let's talk about A to Z then. So we're opening an A to Z of Coventry City history. We're looking for 26 entries. We're running from A through to Z, and asking you and this panel to put in their one entry for each of the letters. We're starting, of course, with the letter A. So looking back at all the people which have been connected, it could be managers, fans, players, owners, key results. A has to stand for. Now, of course, we asked AI for their contribution on this, and all they could come up with was Dele Adebola, which I'm sure many fans would say is a good shout, or maybe not. But can you do it any better? I want to put away fans in there as a shout, because I think Coventry have got by far one of the best set of away followings across the country. So there's one. Tom, can you better Adebola?
I've got one. 85 Ash. He played a big part in the Mark Robbins era. So I'm going to go 85 Ash. I mean, I love the man. He's doing bits in Middlesbrough, Rob Edwards. So fair play to him. And I watched that. I think there was an interview with him a few months ago, and it was unbelievable, the insights. So I love the bloke. 85 Ash for me. He was very underrated. He wasn't spoken about as much as Robbins, but he was there. He had a big part. So I'm going to go 80.
Well, you'll have to wait till his surname meets the letter.
That's a good point.
Yeah, Jay.
I basically I wasn't sure if it was first name or surname. So
It's surname. Yeah, Tom's not read the memo.
I went Adam Armstrong. Just obviously, he was one of our players. I got one season. He was phenomenal for us. So, he's one of the best players I saw for a long time playing for Coventry. So I sort of copped out a little bit because I sort of cheated and went for the double A. But I got
double points. It's fine. Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah, I think Adebola was a fantastic player for us. He was magnificent on his day, and a pain in the backside as well on his day as well.
Yeah.
So, good player for us at that time.
Ben.
So I did the same as Tom, and I had Aaron Gunnarsson. I used to love him as a young man growing up, but then I did change it, and I liked Luis Johnny Aloisi. I liked Aloisi. He was brilliant for us.
Okay, two good shots. Yeah, and yours is a good shout, Tom. Just we'll have to wait for the letter B. So
my apologies.
I need to learn to read as well. I think I was straight on the AD bandwagon, so I need to read that. But I think away fans is a good shout. The other A that sprung to mind was atmosphere, probably more so away. So I think the atmosphere at the ground at times at home has been brilliant over the last few seasons. Sometimes it's not been as good as it has been, but atmosphere-wise, it's a decent stadium for me.
Okay, All right, I think we'll put away fans and an atmosphere in then, shall we?
I wouldn't
In
say
the
away
absence of
stinks because they always get smashed up by Birmingham. So
yeah, the away toilets. Yeah, right. So these four, are now going to carry on talking about the game. So stay with us for that. Join us, of course, again next week as we look back on how they've done at Millwall, and of course away at Hillsborough, which should be an interesting game. There is a planned protest on 10 minutes of that game as well. So we're obviously hoping that Coventry fans will put the bad blood between Sheffield Wednesday side and support them in that process. I hope that comes to pass. And we'll see you in 7 days' time to review all of that action. Thank you very much for joining me. Now we'll into these four with Sky Blues Extra. Have a good week from me.
What a game on Saturday. I was in my usual stuff. I've looked at some stats. Quite interesting reading this week, chaps. Possession 63%. Total shots 14, 5 on target, 8 off target, 1 blocked, 3 clear-cut chances. Whether they were the ones that we scored or not, I don't think so. But 3 corners, 4 offsides. So, Ben, you were there. What did you think of the game?
I think you mentioned it earlier. We didn't even have to get out of second gear, really. I mean, even before the man got sent off, we was already edging the possession in the game anyway. I just thought it was just a really professional performance. We had Grimes just makes football look easy at this level when it's far from it. Even against 10 men, it's so much more difficult because everyone's so much more compact. And he just gets on the ball and he just strolls. He doesn't look like he has to run anywhere.
No.
You know, he's a sign of a good player. And I said it before as well. Josh Eccles really impressed me the other day to come into that squad that's been like an oiled machine and just fit in so nicely and put in a performance like that after such a big injury, which none of us were really aware about until this week and how big it actually was with the bone in his leg. So every credit to him as well.
Seemed to play more up top, didn't he? Eccles for me. In that 10 role or whatever you want to call it.
Him and Torp were sort of interchanging, weren't they? It's very fluid.
Again, yeah. I think he swapped towards the end for Grimes and not there for long, but he was holding back while Grimes went up. But Jay, you were obviously watching it on the phone somewhere. So did you get to see much?
Yeah, my kids' party at the same time. So I was watching it again. I can't really think of anyone that had a poor game, really. Everyone sort of put a really good... It was a good shift, basically. I felt like everyone did their job and they did their job well. And that was it. No one was... Obviously, Jay Dasilva was really good. I thought BTA was good. Eccles was good. Milan was good. And then you've got the other side of things where Hadji didn't score a goal, but I thought he worked his arse off. Like, he worked so well, which with Hadji always, last season or the season before, he was either absolutely fantastic, banging a hat-trick and all this sort of stuff, or he was absolutely dog poo, basically, as well. So, but then that really encouraged me with his performance yesterday. Just purely for the fact that he obviously didn't score a goal, missed a few shots as well. But that was really sort of encouraging. I thought Rushworth, again, did his job well. 2 clean sheets on the row as well. The centre-back seemed to have sort of stepped up a little bit as well, knowing that Wolverton's breathing down their neck. I like the fact that he put Kessler Hayden and Milan on one side and Brow on the other side as well, just to try things. Because obviously it's the first proper league double this week as well. So just obviously we're going to need the squad just because obviously we are a little bit short as well. So I just thought the whole day was just like, it was also a perfect sort of day for us but also we didn't sort of have to sweat too much as well. So we should have a tiny bit more sort of fresher legs on Wednesday at Millwall as well. So yeah, it was just one of those, almost a perfect sort of day. Everything sort of ticked off, barred obviously a couple of injuries that we had prior to the game. But it was a really, really fantastic day, yeah.
Yeah. Tom, from your new seat, how did it look from your new seat?
Yeah, really good. I mean, I thought it was, as you said earlier, so comfortable. It was such a professional performance. I think I said earlier, I feel so confident so far this season. How come the last time I felt so confident at the start of the season after the previous ones? I thought we were just, I was expecting so much more from Birmingham because I know a few of their fans are saying at home they're really good, but away they're a bit shaky. But I thought they were really going to come at us here. And, I mean, paying £45 a ticket to watch that, I mean, it's terrible football from them. They were really, really poor. And even towards the end, that Kyogo is a really good player. He came on in like the 70th sort of minute, and Dasilva just had him every time. And I thought he's just come on. He's fully fit. You'd expect to be doing Dasilva like Fatawu. Dasilva had his number every time. He was winning everything. It was unbelievable performance from Dasilva was just brilliant. BTA, I don't think we've mentioned him a bit much on here. We need to talk about him just a bit more. I thought he was exceptional as well. Got his goal. I mean, it was a tap in, but it was brilliant. Eccles as well, solid. Did really well for the second goal. Torp as well. Yeah, just a brilliant performance. I can't say anything bad about anyone. Even Sims, when he came on, he looked really lively. As you said, he got like 2 yards quicker, which I thought was unbelievable.
Yeah.
And for the last goal, I mean, Rushworth plays a beautiful ball into him. What a ball from Rushworth. Sims is, he's using his strength, and he has the shot, and then Torp's left tap it away. So happy days. Yeah, very confident. Second place.
Yeah.
So can't complain at all.
No, I think there might have been a shout for the penalty on the last one as well if Torp hadn't scored, because I think he was being pulled back by his neck, wasn't he? So, but yeah, I think he looks bigger, he looks stronger. I saw a quote from Frank a while ago talking about him, and I think, to cut a long story short, he was saying the number 9's in the team to score goals, and that's what I want them to do. Now, whether that's been the kick or the nudge that he's needed, but I thought he looked stronger and quicker at the weekend. That was good. The other thing that sprung to my mind was, game management. I think Ben mentioned it. You're 2-0 up against 10 men. There's no point knowing you've got a game on Wednesday having people tearing up and down the pitch, especially when we're talking about squad depth. You got 15, 16 players. We did it last year. I remember us 2-0 up against West Brom, playing Plymouth. Everyone's running all over the place. We were rubbish at Plymouth. Then we lost at Luton. And it's just like, it was proper game management. It's almost like a training match, I thought, on Saturday, just knocking the ball around. I would have liked to have seen Wolverhampton come on for 10 or 15 minutes. So I think that would have been almost perfect for him, just to get a kick around. But, we'll probably move on to Millwall next. But, we'll probably have a chat about whether he'll show up or not, or get on the pitch. But like you said, second in the league on goal difference over Stoke, unbeaten, best goal difference in the league, playing some great football. Unbelievable, I think. So, very, very happy myself. But
EBS is a fortress at the moment.
It's good.
I think we've just provided the blueprint to how to play against Birmingham, and that's just turned the back four, because they are terrible, let me tell you.
Yeah. I mean, that Clara, I don't think he played one ball forward. I don't think. Every time he got the ball, he had the option. I know there was only 10 men on the pitch, certainly more than a half, but he was a big lad, good in the air, but he didn't really do much going forward, or even give the ball too far forward. I did think when Stansfield went down, they all went over to the manager about 15 minutes to go. I can't remember what the score was. Was it 2-0 then? 75 minutes, something like that? I think
probably 2-0.
2-0. And I thought they all came back over, and I thought they were going to go for it. And they had Roberts came on as well, and I thought they're going to have a pop at us now for 10 minutes. And then it just seemed to fizzle out. We went 3-0 up, and that was it. Game done.
The manager hasn't got the know-how at this level, has he? It's pretty clear to me that, if you look at what Nathan Jones is doing at Charlton and with his squad compared to theirs, he's grinding results out. He's thinking of ways to win and get results. And Chris Davies just doesn't have the answer. And it's not his fault, because he's a good young coach, but you can't just slide into this level and think you can win games unless you're a very, very special coach, or you've got someone at the side here that can help you out with big decisions, and a bit like an AD character that's been there and done that. I mean, it's no disrespect to the guy, but I think he's got his work cut out.
I said pretty much exactly the same as you, Ben. I think that, again, good young coach, but I think he's not out of his depth. But I think he's learning on the job, where Birmingham's ambitions are sort of going up here, and he's trying to learn on the job at the same time, where quite clearly they spent tons of money on this squad. He doesn't know his first squad. I wasn't massively impressed with some transfers as the media was. Like Kyogo, he reminds you a bit like a Callum O'Hare. He runs around a lot, end product's not fantastic. Damari Gray's very similar, runs around a lot, end product's not fantastic. Jay Stanfield, don't really rate him up. He was there a couple of seasons ago. The only one that sort of really I was excited to see was Doyle. Can't get a game. Cannot get a game at all. So he's the one that's probably got a little bit of class. When I watch Birmingham, they're fantastic at pressing. Their defence looks nice and solid, but they just sort of fizzle out in the final third. And I think Doyle would have been the guy to sort of have that little bit of class in that final third to provide a little bit of magic for them. But yeah, I agree with you. I've said it yesterday. I think I'll be amazed if he sees the job till Christmas, to be honest with you. But yeah, I was expecting a hell of a lot more. So one thing I'm impressed with Birmingham was their press in the games I've seen them. Absolutely nothing yesterday.
Didn't see it, did we? Didn't see it at all.
Can I just say one more thing on Birmingham?
Really
sorry, Tom.
Sorry, mate.
You're right. Well, one more thing on Birmingham. I think the difference between us and them is we're signing players that are like on the way up, and we're players that the clubs don't want to sell. We're buying players like Torp, who was the best player in his team, and Kessler Hayden, who just had a breakout season. And Villa probably didn't want to sell him, but because he was a youth team player, they needed him for FFP and sort of like that sort of. And thereby Birmingham are buying has-been players that clubs don't want. Kyogo left Celtic, couldn't get a game at Rennes, and then they thought, oh, we'll have him, he's done all right. So they're sort of they've had a lot of free transfers, and it's not the players that sort of are sort of like surplus to requirements, and I think that's the difference.
Yeah. I didn't think much of Stansfield. I watched him in the England under 21s, and I didn't think he was overly as good as I was expecting him to be. And I thought he was a complete passenger yesterday. I thought he walked around the pitch for however long he was on, 90% of it. I was quite happy with it on one side, but I was thinking, I thought you were better than this. But yeah, quite disappointed with him, I must admit.
Honestly, I've never seen him have a good game in my life. Honestly, I've seen him a handful of times, and every single time he seems
very overrated for me.
Of course, he's a
good player. He's a good player. Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying he's terrible. So on his day, he can be brilliant. But every time I've seen him, he hasn't showed up. I think he's a bit overrated for me.
I think the manager's again to blame, Tom. I think the manager's again to blame. He's shoving him on the wing, mate. Like, I don't know what they're doing.
Yeah.
He paid big money for him as well.
I think I thought Kumas was probably their best attacking outlet yesterday. Obviously, when they got the player sent off, he's the first. Is that a sign of a weak manager where they just take the young player off rather than like a Stansfield, who's the big money signing? Like, I don't know, was he scared to take him off? I thought he was non-existent. Damari Gray, I get, because he's a pacey winger. On the counter attack, will be good when you got 10 men. But I thought they should have taken off Stanfield rather than Kumas. But
yeah, I thought Kumas did all right.
Yeah, but again, obviously, that's why I think he just sort of shows. No, I've chatted to a few Brum fans on Twitter, and they seem to say he's got his favourites, which I personally think it's a bit like the Man U sort of thing, that they never sort of drop Bruno Fernandes, even though they sort of drop him into a deeper position just to sort of get him in a team and stuff. It's sort of, is he keeping his favourites in just because they spent the most money on them and he's scared of the management telling him off, and Tom Brady saying he doesn't work hard enough and stuff. You know,
it does happen, that, Jay, in football. I mean, if a chairman spends a lot of money on a player, he wants him in the team.
Yeah, exactly.
I've seen it. I've been around when that's been the case with the player.
What do we think of the Hollywood fireworks?
I missed them.
Did you?
Yeah. Me and my girlfriend, we got there just at the start of Live and Die in these towns. I was gutted because I just came out the toilet, a bit TMI, I know. And I hear this loud bang. I'm like, what is that? And I see all this smoke. And I was like, what have I just missed? And I watched it back. I was like, they look brilliant. I mean, it's very... I remember where Birmingham did it a few seasons. I went to Birmingham away a few seasons ago, and they did it. And I didn't even know their owners called the bold bloke. He had like the blue suit on. He was like, this is our house now. And I was like, this is so American. Yeah. But it did look really good yesterday from when I watched it back. But I'm a bit gutted I missed it. I hope they do it again at some point. Maybe when we play Leicester, they'll do it again. That'd be great. But no, I did miss it. So I'm a bit gutted.
It's good for the kids.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
It looked good, but it is a bit cheesy as well at the same time. So everyone does well though, which is
you've got to move with the times, haven't you?
Exactly. Yeah. We'll have the light shows next, guys. Don't worry.
Oh, can't wait for that. Oh God, we had it last season, didn't we? With all the phones.
Should we move on to Millwall?
Let's do it.
Millwall away Wednesday. Millwall 11th at the moment, 11 points, won 3, drawn 2, lost 2. I was looking at their home results. They've played 3 at home so far. Beat Watford 1-0, lost at home to Borough 3-0, and lost at home to Wrexham 2-0 so far, which surprised me when I saw it. But they've done better away by winning at Norwich, Sheffield United, and they drew at Charlton. So interesting game on Wednesday. Jay, what do you think to what Frank's going to do in terms of squad rotation, anything like that, team selection?
Oh God! Hopefully, no more injuries first and foremost. But again, like you, I was surprised that those stats. I think you mentioned to me prior about how their home form is vastly sort of lower than their away form. But again, I think a lot of teams away from home, a bit like Norwich, sort of sit back and try and counter, which may sort of favour them a little bit. And they have a bit more space because the home team's supposed to push a little bit. But it's a tricky one because I think obviously, do you change a winning team and a team that's playing well? It's not like we sort of ground out result. It's a good solid performance. I think, again, I've said it over and over again, the only bad 45 minutes, any time we played bad is 45 minutes against Oxford, I think, and it's in the second half. The rest of the games, I think we've been, maybe Hull maybe edged it, but we were slightly the better team. Leicester, I think Leicester probably edged at that game, but we were in the game, and the other performances we were almost sort of brilliant in most of them. So do we change a winning team? But also this is the first time we've got 2 league games in a week as well. Obviously, I know we played Millwall in the Cup, and we did look tired. I thought that day as well, or the game after I think it was. But then the thing is, do we change it for Sheffield, which again, obviously they've got their troubles, but then you've got the international break after as well. So do we sort of risk it and sort of go full throttle for the 2 games? Long story short, I ain't got a clue. Do you want to see what we're going to do? But I think we should. I'm going to say we stick with what we've got. As I said, the team sort of were in second gear, maybe third gear on Saturday. So hopefully the legs are still fresh, and they go into that game G'd up, knowing that they're sort of. Again, I personally think they're. Again, I haven't seen Borough at all this season actually, but I think we are. I'm going to say it, we're the best team in the league by some sort of distance at the moment as well. The way we're playing and sort of dominating games, so they're going to go in with confidence into that game. Hopefully, Mason Clark will be back. I'd imagine he'll be on the bench if he does come back. Again, no need to sort of rush him at all. Eccles again, obviously, I know he should come back from injury, so hopefully he can get another sort of good 75 minutes in his legs as well, ready for the Saturday game against Sheffield.
Fair enough. Tom, what do you think?
Yeah, so it's always a really, really tough place to go, the Den. Very, very tough place, atmosphere-wise, etc. But I think Lampard's been there a fair few times now as a player as well. So obviously we were there earlier in the season in the Cup, but it was a very changed side, very rotated, a few youngsters on. So obviously we lost, but I don't think we weren't great, but I don't think we were terrible that game. I'm with Jay. I'm not really sure what lineup's going to be. I haven't really got a clue. I think he's going to stick with the same. I think if the team's winning, a comfortable win against Birmingham, I don't think you change it, to be honest. I think it'll be the exact same. Just got to hope there's no injuries, fresh injuries, or nobody gets injured during Millwall. But as well as that, EMC is back, he'll be on the bench as well. But I can see us winning. I would take a draw, beat Sheffield. I think we might go 1-0, to be honest. 1-0.
One point actually, maybe sort of put Tats on the bench. Obviously, away games, a tough Millwall game.
Yeah.
Maybe put Milan there or KKH one, and they sort of interchange a little bit. Again, I don't imagine there'll be sort of vast changes, but obviously, I'll let Ben and Scott sort of discuss now.
Yeah, what about you, Ben? What do you think
I've got a funny feeling. I mean, we spoke about, I think, the professionalism and the way the lads just played it in second gear, and we made plenty of subs, tells me that it'll probably go with the same team, get the job done. I mean, when we played Millwall in the Cup, when we brought our boys on, you saw the golfing class difference. I mean, they just come on a little bit late, I think, to get the result. But I've got a feeling that he might play a 3-5-2. I think he might go to that and you play the wing backs, and he'll give that way. You can fit Wolfie in as well into a back three, but that's a long shot. But it's something that's a possibility, especially with the injuries at the moment. Because my feeling is that he's not going to want to involve Efron until after the international break now and risk him. So to me, that would make sense. And you've got Sims and you've got Hadji to play up front, and they're a pair of battering rams, really, aren't they? So we'll see. And you're solid as well with that formation, aren't you?
Yeah. Who would you drop then if you're going to play five?
Well, I think Jay just said.
Tats.
Sakamoto or BTA. One of them two would be sacrificed.
Another good thing as well, so on a trip there, is if we do interchange from a 4 at the back to a 3-5 at the back, it keeps the opposition on their toes as well. They don't know what we're going to sort of play. So we can sort of one game do, obviously, depending on what sort of tactics you want to sort of incorporate. It'd be actually quite a good sort of thing to have in the armour, really.
It throws a spanner in the works. Robbins used to do it a couple of times, and it did get us a couple of results. I remember Watford away and Leeds away in particular, where we got results both them games just out of the spur of the moment thing, and teams not expecting it. Yeah, I'd be surprised if he did it, but the possibility is there.
Yeah, he did it a few times, and when Hadji was injured last season, I think he went back to a 3 at the back. And certainly away at Norwich, I remember us playing 3 at the back there, or 5 at the back, whatever you want to call it. But I think like you said earlier about game management being in second gear, no one's had to run their spuds off yesterday. He's taken Hadji off. He's subbed all the right players. He's brought KKH on for some time. Yeah, it'd be interesting to see. But I think I wrote mine down 1-1. Tom, you said 1-1.
Going 1-1.
No,
Jay,
I think
you're going for a win. Ben's going for a win, I'm sure.
1-0. 1-0. I think it'll be an easy win. As harsh as that may sound, I don't think they've been great this season, and I think we'll just come and do what we've been doing all season, and with a bit more confidence we'll take from yesterday, I think we'll run them over.
Wow.
Top place to go. So I'll take another easy win, but again, also I'll take any win. But saying that, I'm going to sit in the fence. I'll take a bloody draw as well at the moment. But I think 7 points from this week will be absolutely amazing. But again, I said to one of my mates before the Birmingham game, I expect 9. I'm going into every game. I'm expecting to win. He asked me about who the game after. I'm like, we'll win that. And it's just sort of the confidence, as Tom mentioned earlier. I've just got this like unbelievable confidence that the team are going to win pretty much every game. There's no sort of team that are really scaring me at the moment. You look at Saints, not doing well. Leicester, obviously, we just played them, not doing fantastically well. Ipswich doing okay. Luckily, they have to replay that Blackburn game, but they weren't fantastic that day. So, I think we're going to win. As the pod has said, we're going to be invincible.
There you go. Even Mark was saying, Mark said it a few times, even as a neutral and Everton fan, how well we're playing football. And I think a lot of people are saying the same. I think we're playing some scintillating stuff at times. So I don't think Borough played overly well at Southampton from what I saw and what I heard.
They've not been playing well, Scott.
Haven't they?
Yeah, I watch a lot of Championship football, and don't get me wrong, they're a good side and they grind teams down, and they're just doing the job. But they can't keep playing like that and getting results, and it is going well for them. And I think they will have a fall off. I genuinely do. That's just my opinion.
Yeah. And Stoke,
have they won a game comfortably? Is the question. I haven't. Sorry to interrupt. Have Borough won? I mean, it's respectfully. Have Borough won any game this season comfortably? I mean, it's always got just like a goal or a draw. So I can't think of a game they've won.
They won 3-0 at Millwall. They won 3-0 at Millwall.
It wasn't a 3-0 game though,
wasn't it?
No.
Just the results. They won 1-0 against Swansea, 3-0 against Millwall, 2-1 against Norwich, 1-0 against Sheffield United, 2-1 against West Brom, 1-1 against 2-2 against Preston, 1-1 against Southampton as well. So
not very comfortable, is it?
No. They're hard to beat. They've got Callum Britton as a right wing back, solid player at this level. They've just got a good side and they're organised as any AD team is, and I think he's the man doing the stuff for that club.
Yeah. What about Stoke? I saw the highlights last night, and they look quite lively on the highlights, but I don't know what the whole game was like. Have they been doing all right this season? As not AD, blimey, I'm getting it all mixed up now. Mark, Mr. Robbins got them playing any better?
They've had a very good start, which I was quite surprised about, because Stoke's been down there like 15th for quite a few seasons. I've been quite impressed with them so far. I have a mate of mine who's a Stoke fan. He said he's really impressed with what he's seeing. He said that Mark's the man, and I said, look, mate, I know, for so many years, like I've nothing bad to say about the bloke. So I do think Stoke will drop off. I mean, and respectful way. I don't see him being up there all season. Same with Middlesbrough as well. I think we'll see the teams we're expecting to be up there, being up there eventually. Southampton will come good. Sheffield United, now they've got Wilder back, most likely will come good. Ipswich, they'll be up there as well. Leicester, all those sort of teams will be up there. But as long as we can stay up there with them and keep pushing into January, get 1 or 2 reinforcements, as we said, just really go for it. I don't see why we can't get top 2. And I might be very early doors. I put that tweet out and I said, this feels like our season, but it's very early doors. But I've just got that confidence at the moment. Like Jay said, I just don't think we're going to lose. Every game, I'm like, I don't see us losing this at all. No. I mean, Millwall's a tough place, but I don't see us losing now. I see at least a draw. Yeah. I'll be happy with that. We go and beat Sheffield.
Frank doesn't want draws, does he? He goes to win every game, doesn't he? That's what it looks like to me. I mean, yesterday after the game, I was feeling a little bit angry with Doug a little bit after, how much I love Doug, but I was feeling a bit angry and I was thinking, why couldn't you just give Frank a couple more tools? Because this season, I mean, obviously now till Christmas, it's a big period, and the points will be massive come the end of the season. And I just thought he could have threw him a few more in. A couple more attacking players, and we'd almost be. We wouldn't be having this sort of worry of getting injuries, but you can't have it all.
Yeah, I think obviously they attempted to. They tried to get that Raksaki, the winger. They tried to get. Apparently, they went back in for Charlie Hughes as well. They went in for. Was it? He's gone to Millwall, the ball guy.
Smallbone.
Smallbone. Apparently, they went for Will Smallbone as well. So they tried quite a lot, but then I think wages is always a killer for us because our top bracket is 25, 30 grand, and they're going to get larger sort of penny salaries. And that's what sort of killing. Again, obviously, I don't know, but that's what I feel like is the issue is our wages. But now we've got the stadium and extra revenue. Again, if our average wage bill over a 25-man squad goes up by £10,000 per player, that's a £13 million increase annually. So it's not small change. So it's big money. So that extra revenue is going to make a massive difference for us, giving people larger contracts. And again, as you said earlier, Ben, we're going to have a quality over quantity. So, and I've got, like you, I'm a big Doug fan. Anytime we get someone in, you know they're going to be a top player.
Yeah.
I can't help but just think though, if there's ever a time to gamble now for the big bucks, it's now, isn't it?
Well, the money's in the bank. We know the money's in the bank. He's tempted to buy Charlie Hughes for 8 mil, 10 mil, whatever it was. Attempted to buy Rushworth for 5 mil, whatever it was. Try to buy Raksaki, who's quoted to be a £10 million player. Try to get him apparently on deadline day. I don't know if it's a loan or a purchase. But obviously, Doug doesn't like loans, so I presume it would be a purchase. We tried to sign some Norwegian kid or Danish kid from some Champions League team on the last day. So the money's there. So I appreciate it's a hard time to buy players, but I hope to God that they're like you. I think we needed a left winger 10 position and another centre midfield player. Hopefully, again, I think we just need 2 players. If you get a third one, I'm absolutely buzzing with that. But now, well, the season's actually quite not too bad until after the Sheffield Wednesday game. After that, the games come quick and fast. There's a lot of games in that sort of period of time until the January window. So as long as we're in the mix, then I think we get a couple of players in. You know they're going to be quality, and then we'll go from there.
Yeah, thanks for that, Jay, because I was feeling like that last night, and I think that's just given me a bit of reassurance because.
Mate, I'm the same. I'm exactly the same as you. I'm confident in the squad. I was thinking about we've got a good 16 players, but I just think that extra 2 players would have just made the world of difference. Massive.
Yeah, we're so close though, aren't we? We're so close, and I just think if we fail now, it's going to be annoying, very annoying. This league's wide.
That's why I think it'll be our season. It just feels different this season.
I do.
Compared to the last few.
I do.
Yeah.
I think that's
look
where
at
the
last
noise will
season.
come
We
from.
were down there.
It all relies on injuries, though. It all relies on injuries.
Very true. Very true.
And we've just had 2 massive injuries to, well, not massive, but to our biggest players.
Again, you look at the squad. The defense, I think, the defense will be able to cope. The wings, I think we will be able to cope. Again, Milan's not a winger. Brau's not a winger, but they can do. They can. Again, I hate this word, but they can do a job there. Like we can sort of do it. And as you guys have mentioned earlier, people seem to know this because it's a small squad. They know the system. They know what they need to do effectively. Sims gave me a bit of confidence actually on Saturday. It's just, as Scott's alluded to, Matt Grimes. That again, touch wood. Everyone touch wood, please, guys. Matt Grimes hasn't missed a game for X amount of years. That is a key. If Torp's out injured, Eccles can come in. If Rodoni's out injured, one of those 2 can sort of replace them. I'm not a massive fan of Jamie Allen, but again, he can do some sort of job. He can run around a lot. Yeah. But I just think that midfield, that's the only thing that we will struggle with. But Matt Grimes is the key because he's the heartbeat of this team.
Yeah.
I'm sure really Jamie Allen in training will be doing Grimes' role.
Yeah,
that's what he will be doing in training, each on different sides, and he'll be learning that role. He could do it, and he can do it anyway, not to Grimes' standard, but he's more than capable of covering for Grimes. It won't be the same, obviously, but I'm presuming that will be a like for like if anything ever did happen. That's why I can see with the wingers being injured, I can see it being a 5-3-2 or 3-5-1, whatever you want to call it. But that's why I can see. I mean, we're stacked in that positions, aren't we? We've got Milan, Kane, we've got Dasilva, Bidwell, and Brown. So,
yeah.
Wolverhampton can't get a game.
No, but he would do if we played that, wouldn't he?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. I think outside Grimes, I think I'd like to see a younger lad coming through sooner or later. There might be somebody behind the scenes, but you mentioned Jamie Allen can do a job there. I mean, he's 30 odd now, isn't he? Not that age is a real barrier, but I could do with a younger lad that he's being taught the ropes, I guess, to make me a bit more comfortable. And I'd like to see probably another centre half, because after Wolverhampton, we've only got Latty really. If we get a long injury to Kitchen or Bobby, or even Wolverhampton, we've only got we got Perry, I suppose, haven't we? Latty and Perry, I guess, as centre half. So I wouldn't mind seeing another centre half come in, personally. But
if they come in, they sit on the bench, though, don't they? It's a tough one.
yeah, it is very tough. You've got to get players, like KKH. I was convinced something was going to happen because he's played all those games for Preston. He's going to want to come in and play, but he hasn't. And
I didn't think that was going to be the case anyway.
Didn't you?
I didn't. No, I mean, I put a tweet out and I got laughed at. Milan's going. He's definitely going. I didn't think that was the case. I always thought he would stay for another year.
Yeah, I just thought he'd come and get a game somewhere. I was thinking he's going to play. Surely he's going to come and play. Having played 44 out of 46 games and been, man of the match or player of the season, I should say, for everybody that's voted. I thought he'd come in and he would start sooner or later. But no, he don't seem unhappy about it. You're not hearing any rumours about Wolfie not being happy or anything like that. So it sounds like a happy camp.
You also say as well, like obviously they're going to set the bench. That's what we need as a club, as a squad. You look at again, just looking at the Leicester team when they played us. Jerry Monga, Chowdhury was on the bench. That that Karanka, the striker, whatever the name is, Dash was on the bench. Berkovic, Akali, I thought he was doing quite well. Christensen, who cost him quite a lot of money in the Premier League last season. Oliver Skip, 20 mil, I think they paid for him, and Reed, a good Premier League player, all sitting on the bench. So players will come in and sort of compete. That's what we need. In those particular squads, obviously as well. And you look at Birmingham squad just today as well. They've got, again, I haven't got the team here, but they have some good players. Cashin, Brighton side for 10 mil on the bench. Roberts on the bench. Doyle on the bench. The Japanese striker on the bench. Beadle, England in 21 on the bench. That German defender on the bench. Leonard, who a lot of clubs are after, on the bench. Obviously, League One. But people, unfortunately, that's what they have to do. You need to set certain standards in the squad. We've got 16 players in the squad that will compete. We probably need 18, 20, I would say, that are going to compete and fight for those positions. So again, people will come in, but people want to win. That's all they want to do. If you're playing like Charlie Hughes is playing at Hull, Tim Pot Hull, they're great. They're down the bottom. He's the captain of Hull, down the bottom of the league. Enjoy that, mate. You lost at the weekend again.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
he had a bad game. He had a bad game as well on Saturday.
Well, he was the best. He was the best on SofaScore on their team. I was looking because I said a few Hull fans saying ever since we was interested, he was terrible, and he was still the highest rated player on the team according to SofaScore. So he must have been terrible.
Yeah. It's that quality over quantity thing, isn't it? I mean, how many times do you want to be a centre half and see, Hadji go off and you think, oh no, Sims is coming on now. When you've got somebody who's just as good as coming on, you don't even get a breather as a player if someone's just as good as the other fella. So
it's not easy to balance, though, is it? As a manager, it's so hard to balance.
Well, let Frank deal with that.
It's his problem, and not ours.
But again,
we'll quickly move on to Sheffield Wednesday then, because I know we've been going for 52 minutes. But Sheffield Wednesday after Millwall, looking at their home form, they've drawn against QPR 1 apiece, and they've lost the other 3. 3-0 to Stoke, 2-0 to Swansea, 3-0 to Bristol City. 1 goal scored, 9 against. I know they've got this protest after 10 minutes lined up, but hopefully it won't get the game postponed or abandoned or anything like that. But I think we'll probably go there and win. I've gone 4 points. Millwall draw. I've gone Sheffield Wednesday win 2-1. I don't know about you guys. Last prediction. What do we think, Tom?
I think if the game's not off, I think we'll win. I'd say 3-1, to be honest, 3-0. I think it'll be a very comfortable win, but let's see what happens with the protests. So, I mean, it's 10th minute, isn't it? They're all going to run on the pitch, aren't they?
Yeah.
If it does get called off, I think we automatically get the 3 points, if I'm not wrong. I think that's the rule now.
Is that right?
I think we get the 3 points.
Yeah,
they've been warned. I think they'll still do it, but I'm not sure how big it's going to be until the day. So we'll find out. But even if the game does go on, I think 3-1 to us. I think comfortable win, to be honest. So.
Fair enough. Ben?
I think we've got to go there. We've got to win. We've got to win. It's not going to be an easy game, but as long as we go there with the right application, we earn the right to play. We win our individual battles and break them down and just do what we did on Saturday and just dominate the game from deep in their half. I think I can't see anything else but 3 points with this team and the way they're playing at the minute.
Yeah, I'd like to agree. Jay?
I've been semi-impressed with Sheffield, to be honest with you, Sheffield, not United, Wednesday. I thought they'll be really struggling. Obviously, I appreciate they're second from bottom, but I thought they'll be a lot worse off than they are now. I think we'll win 3-0. I think, like Tom said, I think it's going to be a comfortable win. We'll be sort of will have too much class for them. They've got some young lads in the team, inexperience and stuff. Obviously, Baron Bannon, don't like the guy, but he's a top football player. He's basically Matt Grimes from Timu, I guess, if you want to put it that way. Again, good team, but I think we'll just have too much class for them. And run them over, and then go into international break and rest and recover for the set of games afterwards.
Great stuff. Thank you. Nice to have some company this week. Thank you very much.
We'll be back. We'll be back to see you next week as well.
Yeah.
Sorry about that, Scott.
Have a good weekend, chaps.
Bye, everyone. Thank you everyone for watching.
Cheers.
See you later.
Thank you.